taught you, this one viewer on here, what has life taught you? I think for me, life has taught me how to forgive immediately instead of letting it weigh you down, instead of you carrying it with you. Yeah, instead of carrying it with you. So drop in the comments what life has been teaching you. What do you do if you can't just let go? Hmm. I think I think at that point you would just you have to ask yourself, what is it that's making you hold on? You have to ask yourself, um, how heavy would it be if you continue to carry it? Would you be able to go as far as you want to go if you continue to have that resentment in your heart? I never forget. I remember my big sister had asked me, um, how did she? Hold on one second. Hold on one second. So I remember my big sister had told me one time, like, how do I tell my dad? Like, what do I say to him? How do I truly tell him how I feel? And to me personally, I feel like in order for you, sometimes you're not able to talk to the person that made you feel some type of way. But if you do get the chance, I feel like put it all on the table. Tell them exactly how you feel so you can let it all off of your chest. Tell them exactly how you feel. Ask every question. Even if you don't get some of them questions answered, get everything off of your chest so you can be able to move on and live your life. That's just what I feel. But I definitely don't think it's something that could be an easy thing. It may take you a while to unload all of that pain and trauma a person has caused you. And I think that's the interesting thing about this world that we live in. People make it seem like it's a Russian thing, or since they healed in 1 month or healed in 1 week or one day, it could be easy for someone else. We talking about years of trauma that certain people have experienced with an individual or friends, family, whatever it is, and you expect a person to heal overnight. Some people may be able to. It's interesting. I'm reading this book right now. It's called The Body Keeps Score. And I was just reading another book that I think was on a similar thing. It was talking about childhood trauma and trauma with children. And I didn't know that as a child you can deal with, you can have some sort of trauma that you mentally don't remember, but your body physically remembers. And it could trigger certain emotions that you don't even remember why. So it may be a piece of candy that triggers you a certain way, or it might be a certain part that triggers you, or a certain looking car, a certain type of house, a certain color that triggers you, something that you experienced as a child, and your body remembers, but your mind didn't because your mind shut down for you to survive with what it is that you survive. I thought that was interesting. like that question. Wow. Um, that's a really good question. What if it's too late and he's gone and we had a lot of ups and downs and he was you can't get back and change. That's a good question. I like that. I like that. So I got a friend, a very, very close friend, who lost his father about a year and a half ago. And, we have great conversations about, our fathers and things of that nature. He says this thing like he don't care, and he don't like his father, and all of these things. But if you didn't, you wouldn't feel all of those emotions over, you know, that individual. Side note, I feel like anytime you feel something when speaking on someone, if you feel something internal, something moves you, it's deep. It's deeper than what you can portray and try to say. But I feel like your question goes back to the inner work. What questions do you have? Maybe the questions that you have, you can ask your. I mean, you can answer yourself. You know, I had a buddy that said, um, if you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the person that you see, it's time to take yourself on a date. And so it sounds like you're dealing with a lot of things internally where it's a lot of questions that you may need to ask yourself and spend a lot of time with yourself, a long time with yourself. It was something that I'd like to share with you. I learned this about 2.5 weeks ago, and I've always did this, but I didn't know that journaling, writing, literally heals your brain. If you don't believe me, look it up right now. Go grab the computer, look it up. It literally said writing heals your brain. When you write about how you feel about certain things, it literally heals your brain. So maybe that's something that you can spend time doing. And yeah. Hope to answer your question. I mean, but ask me some more. I like your question. We can get deep with this. We can get deep with this. Yeah, we got some pretty good questions. Is Chef King's your name, or is that just your YouTube name? Well, of course it's your YouTube name. What's your name? Got two. We got two people in here. We're gonna talk like it's a million. Oh, your name is Shay. She Kings. How old are you, Shay? Okay. So let me see. Let me ask you this question. Have you? I'm 28. So I want to know. I'm just curious. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But when was the last time you cried? Like had a really good cry. And I'm not even talking about a cry from pain. Maybe a cry from understanding. Maybe a cry from healing. A cry from a realization of something.